Folks, we are back on the W.A.D.E concept presented by the Ring Magazine for what was probably one of the more awkward and bizarre press conferences that I have ever seen in the sport of boxing. I'm, of course, talking about Jake Paul versus Tank Davis on Netflix Friday, November 14th. This fight has already had some controversy attached to it before we even got to today's first press conference. For example, the fight was supposed to take place in Atlanta, Georgia at the State Farm Arena. That has since changed. It's now Miami, Florida. And to quote the Georgia State Athletic Commission head, Rick Thompson, he said, and I quote, "I believe it's in the public's interest to know because they've been promoting something they should not have. This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. It's a money grabber, and I'm not okay with that." That is the reason Jake Paul versus Tank Davis moved from Georgia to Florida. And if that controversy wasn't enough, now we have even more in the first press conference between the two. Because not only, in my opinion, did it not deliver, this press conference made you ask why we're even doing this fight. What do I mean? The breakdown. Let's go. But before we get there, folks, I want to say a big thank you to the sponsor of today's video, First Form. That is right, guys. First Form is a proud sponsor of this channel for a couple of reasons. Number one, they treat me like a person. They're not about just selling supplements. They are trying to help me as an individual become my healthiest version. They walk the walk while they talk the talk, and their products do the same. So I feel pretty comfortable advertising them to you guys, including one of the products I use the most from First Form, the Formula One Whey Isolate Protein. I use this bad boy after every single workout because for a long time, as you guys know, I've had tendinitis, I've had issues recovering from workouts, soreness, and the whole thing. I use this product. It helps me recover quicker from my workouts and get back to what I do best, making videos for you guys, having energy behind those, and trying to get back in shape. And yes, all of these products from First Form are 100% tested, NSF certified, and whether it's the Formula One or the OptiGreens 50 for your digestive health, your immunity and energy, whether it's the level 1 sustained assimilation protein shakes or the microfactor, which is essentially a combination of multivitamin, probiotics, CoQ10, veggies, antioxidants, and omega-3s. First Form has you covered with all your supplementary needs, and you can click the link below, try the product for 30 days, and if you're not satisfied for whatever reason, First Form will send you 110% of what you pay. And when you click the same link in the description, shop at First Form, spend $100 or more, you're going to get free shipping on those products. So once again, click the link in the description. Thank you to First Form for sponsoring this video. And now, let's get back into that breakdown.
He will step into the ring with a record of 12-1. 7 of those wins have come by knockout. He's known as the problem child. He is Jake El Gallo de Dorado Paul.
Okay, we got to turn that off because we can't get copyright. Of course, Jake's coming out to the Drake. First, let's talk about the fit. We got to do a fit check because I am the most unfashionable man in all of YouTube. Let's take a look. Jake is rocking the Siberian swag today. He's got a fur coat on. I'm not sure if that's mink. Wouldn't know if it was. He's also carrying a Merce. That's right. That's a man purse. He rocks one of those everywhere he goes. Listen, is there any point other than to match the outfit? What's inside the purse? Is there more money? What's he using the money for? We're at a boxing press conference. What's he trying to pay for? I have no idea. Is it symbolism for he's got this in the bag? Who knows?
He hails from Baltimore, Maryland. He is Gervonta Tank Davis.
There he is. Tank coming out. There he is, making his way to the stage. Tank Davis. And it's almost certain that that chair is too tall and his feet will dangle off of it. I mean, right here you can see the size difference. It's easy to see even when they're sitting. Watch when they do this face-off in a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Manifestations, everything. I knew we would be here. Before we start more, I want to take a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk and his family, Erica Kirk, real heroes of America. I want to take a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Rest in peace, Charlie. He means the world to the United States, and his legacy lives on today. But yeah, I knew.
All right, so I'm just going to say, listen, I know that no one is going to agree politically with everyone. I don't mind Jake taking that moment. I thought that's really respectful, actually. Whether you are a conservative, liberal, leftist, right-wing, whatever, a horrible thing happened to Charlie Kirk. And I haven't talked about it on this channel, and I'm not going to outside of just saying, obviously, rest in peace. A despicable act happened, and he was assassinated, murdered in front of those group of people needlessly and in cold blood. Prayers to his family and his loved ones, and yeah, Life is very precious. Make sure you tell someone you love them.
I've predicted everything in my career and just made it all come true.
Tank, same question. Can you believe this is happening and you're about to get into the ring with Jake Paul?
I'm definitely excited. You know, I think it's going to be good. You know, he been in the gym and he been boxing for a little minute now, so he been taking it serious. So we just got to see what he bring.
My man's smile is crazy. I just saw that, dude. This man is cheesing.
When we fighting?
November 14th.
Yeah, November.
He's stupid as fuck.
I got a number of questions for both of you.
What was that?
Before we
All right, man. A couple things. Number one, Tank didn't even know the day they were supposed to fight. It's plastered all over the wall behind him, on the podium, on Twitter, on social media. It's right here in front of his face if he would just look to his left. How does this man, who is one half of the main event, not know when the fuck he's fighting? And by that same token, how are we, the fans, expected to think that Tank is locked into this when he doesn't even know when the fight date is, bro? Again, I know it's something very minor, and he maybe just forgot, but it's not the greatest kickoff to this press conference. It's like a car stuck in neutral as you're slamming on the gas. You're starting slow, and you're not fully engaged or in gear. And then something interesting happens. Jake is like already starting to troll, or he's trying to get in the mind of Gervonta right away by being like, look, he's dumb as fuck, right? He's trying to get Gervonta riled up, which I think is the best thing Jake can do. If Jake can play the villain throughout this buildup, and I think he desperately needs to get Gervonta to react and show some emotion and actually look like he gives a fuck about this, that's the role Jake needs to play. Honestly, I don't think he did it enough in this presser, but we'll see.
Let me bring to the stage and to this podium Most Valuable Promotions co-founder. He's also the CEO, Nikisa Badarian.
Nikisa gets walkout music. I'm dead.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a victor because the fighters have agreed and the commission has approved a maximum weight of 195 pounds for this exhibition. The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds. The fight is 195 pounds, Tank, as you know.
Okay, so something very interesting there. I don't know if you guys heard it, but it was also caught on a separate camera. Nikisa is going through the rules. He says the fight will be contested at a maximum weight of 195 pounds. Tank gets up and says, y'all said it was 190. Listen at this.
The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds.
I said it was 190.
The fight is 195 pounds, Tank, as you know.
So, yeah, I don't know if Tank was trolling there or not. He probably is because he just kind of sits down real quick. But, 195 is what they said the first time. It is interesting, though, that Tank immediately got up and said it was 190. Y'all said it was 190. I can't tell if he's trolling or not. But regardless, 195. What else we got?
The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds. And when Tank and Jake enter the squared circle to go to battle, they will be wearing 12-ounce gloves.
Okay.
Sitting ringside will be 3 commission-approved world-class professional judges that will score every round to ensure there's a decisive outcome for the fight if it goes the distance. And both men are enrolled in the highest level of testing with USADA.
Okay, so we get the rest of the terms here. We have 10 3-minute rounds, 12-ounce gloves, which, okay, I can deal with that. I thought it was going to be 14s and Tank was going to be walking around with those sock 'em boppers. I think that's what they were called, sock 'em boppers. Still, though, 12 ounces, this is what I said a second ago. Jake is 70 pounds bigger. I know that Jake can weigh in at 195. Tank will probably walk in there at like 150 at the heaviest, maybe 155, but still, you have to think, is Jake going to rehydrate? Because he doesn't walk around at 195. Is there some sort of rehydration clause? Or is Jake going to walk in the ring at like 215? I don't see how Tank's going to hurt him, especially because Jake is more experienced than people give him credit for, right? They keep doing this, he's only been boxing 5 years. He's been as a pro 5 years, but still in those 5 years, this is what he's done. And then Nikisa says that it will be judged, and they have USADA. USADA, that's pretty cool. You never hear of boxing actually using the United States Anti-Doping Agency. They use WADA, the volunteer, which is, you know, a subsidiary, both are, of WADA, but USADA is more structured, more randomized. They're going to be in place, and they're going to be very frequent throughout this build-up for the fight. I think that's a good idea. But then you talk about the judges. Like, again, it's cool. I'm glad to see that this is going to actually be scored so we get a definitive winner or loser if no one gets knocked out. But at the same time, it's not on anyone's pro record, so what does it really matter?
May the best fighter win. Thank you.
Oh, God. He got walkout music. He got walkout music, too. That was on cue. They rehearsed that shit.
Jake, I'll start with you. You certainly have built your career on taking tough challenges.
That's funny.
Now you're facing Tank, probably one of the most explosive punchers in the sport of boxing. What do you see as your biggest advantage going into this fight?
Yeah, I would say a lot of things, but I think first and foremost is going to just be my reach, my size, being able to keep him away. I think there's a lot of holes in his defense that a lot of people haven't exposed before, and he's a great fighter, one of the best. I'm excited. He's elevating me to a new height. He's making me push myself to my limits. I'm more locked in than ever, but at the end of the day, I know I'm going to be able to come out on top and outbox the guy who's been doing it for 7 times as long as me.
Jake just said that Tank has been boxing for 7 times as long as Jake has been boxing. They started out this press conference by saying Jake started boxing 5 years ago. So 7 times 5 is 35. Tank is what, 30? We always knew that math was not Jake's strong suit. I'm a fellow college dropout, but the math ain't mathin'.
Obviously, toughest test that you faced to this point. You beat an undefeated world champion.
Why are we saying that, though? Like, skill-wise, is Tank better than anyone Jake has fought? Skill-wise in boxing, yes. But when we're saying toughest test, this is an exhibition fight. This is not a test of Jake as a professional boxer. It's not even in his weight class. The toughest test Jake has had to this day and will remain his toughest test until either he rematches or fights someone of a similar level at the weight class as Tommy Fury. I just don't, you can't say that. You can't say this is Jake's toughest test. You can't do that.
Is this the fight where folks, especially in the boxing community, have to say, Jake Paul deserves to be at the elite level?
Nah, they'll never give me credit until I have the world championship belt, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. You know, but belts collect dust, and what I've done in the sport is unprecedented. Never will be replicated, and done it in such a short amount of time, just getting warmed up. They're not going to give me credit, but I don't need the credit from these bozos, to be honest. The credit's in my bank account.
Ooh. Bart, well, credit in the bank account, you get debited the money in your bank account. Credits when the money comes out. Regardless, here's the thing. That question is erroneous. Asking Jake if you beat Tank in an exhibition, are you the elite level in boxing? The answer is no. Is Jake an elite level name in boxing? The answer is abso-fucking-lutely. He is. You may not like that, but he's one of the biggest names, if not the biggest name, in the sport that's currently fighting and is not Mike Tyson. Let's be honest about it, right? If they go out and do better numbers than Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, then he's probably the biggest name in the sport. But that does not make him an elite fighter even sport. Even if he was to go out and knock Tank out, it doesn't make him elite. And I don't mean that to sound harsh. It's just, again, weight classes matter. They do. You just can't put him in the elite of his weight class for knocking out the elite of a weight class 10 spots down.
Tank, I'll start with you. I guess a number of people will say, why Jake Paul as opposed to a rematch with Lamont Roach?
There's only one answer to this question, and it's probably what is in the man purse that Gervonta also brought to the stage. It's money. That is the only reason he would do this fight over Lamont Roach or retirement. He is getting paid a shit ton of money. Let's see if he answers it, but that is the only reason.
I don't want to put a lot out there, but it's just, you know, doing what's best for me and what's right for me. And I've been doing this for a little minute now. You know, I've been doing it since I was 7 years old. You know, so this is the first camp I can, like, you know, enjoy myself, be back myself, like, even leading up to, like, the rematch of the Roach fight. It was more so, like, I don't want to get too much in it, but November the 14th, you got Jake Paul and me. I think it's going to be a great event. Every time I fight is fireworks. Jake Paul coming in, you know, he's much bigger, he's much stronger. Boxing wins come November the 14th. You know, it's not just me and Jake on a fight. It's a whole card, and we just giving boxing what it needs, and that's excitement.
I'll tell you something. That answer did not excite me at all. Now, okay, number one, Tank is right. There are going to be a lot of boxers on the undercard that get a lot of shine from this, and that is good for the sport. In fact, just eyes on boxing in general is something Jake has done very, very well for the sport, and you can't take that away from him. He has brought a ton of new eyes to this sport. That's something that I think people should value Jake and Tank more than what they do. I just wish he would have said, I did this because it's going to make me a ton of money, and that's what I honestly care more about in this sport. Because it's the honest truth. He doesn't care, which he'll, flat out tell you sometimes, he doesn't care about his championship belt. He doesn't even care about his legacy. He cares about making money for himself and his family. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. Just be honest about it. Just say what it is, because that is what this fight is. And we all know it. Again, as long as you admit that, as long as you go into this fight with that preconceived notion of what exactly is going on here, I don't have any problem with an exhibition where two guys are going to make a shit ton of money. Does it mean anything? No. Does it mean anything for Jake's legacy, for Tank's legacy? Honestly, unless either of them get knocked out cold, no. In fact, it probably hurts Tank's legacy more if that were to happen. But for Jake, no. It doesn't make them better in their given weight classes. It is a one-off entertainment bout, and that's okay. Just say what it is.
You've talked too a lot about leaving a lasting legacy in the sport of boxing. You beat Tank Davis. Do you believe you've basically cemented yourself as one of the best in the sport?
What? Hell no.
Nah, not yet. I'm just getting warmed up, but this will certainly shut up a lot more people. Each fight has done that so far. Only 5 years as a pro. And feels like the last fight I had was the end of chapter 1. This is the beginning of chapter 2. And I'm only 28 years old. I have a lot more to prove. And once I beat this guy, more people will shut up. But at the end of the day, I'm really still just getting warmed up in the sport. And I'm going to show how good I am. You know, this is a top 10 pound-for-pound fighter that I'm going to outbox. And truly, when people run back this press conference, all the shit talk, all the fun, they're going to be like, wow, this kid really is doing something monumental in the sport, and he's actually an insane boxer. And I'm going to show that this guy who's been doing it his whole life has been doing it wrong his whole life.
Would you say, Tank?
He said he's going to outbox me. Whoop-de-doo.
First off, at least Jake can acknowledge the fact that beating Tank does not make him one of the best in the world. I respect that. But you hear him throwing around that pound for pound, and I heard it earlier in the presser too. Tank is a top 10 pound for pound guy. Why are we using that qualifier? Explain that to me. For those that are watching at home, they are calling Tank a top 10 pound for pound because they can't say that Tank is a top 10 at Jake's weight class because he doesn't fight at that weight class. The reason we have pound for pound in general is to fantasize about who would be the best boxer if they were all the same weight. Reality states that Terrence Crawford is not going to beat Alexander Usyk because Terrence Crawford is 168 pounds now, and Alexander Usyk's a heavyweight. So even if the skills are there, even if he's better skillfully than Usyk, the weight determines Usyk is going to hurt him badly. That doesn't tell us anything. That tells us when two elite guys get together, the bigger man wins.
Shout out to Jake Paul for, coming with me and making this event happen, and his team, and MVP Promotions, Netflix, Al Heyman, everybody.
Turns out he can't read just like Floyd.
Oh, MVP.
Jesus.
MP.
You got it, champ.
I'm not worrying about that.
You got it, champ.
People talk all day. It's cool.
That's what Jake needs to do more. Go after him. First off, again, Tank didn't know the fight date, didn't know who Nikisa was, and he called Jake's promotion MP. Money, please, promotion. I'm supposed to believe that Tank gives a shit. Honestly, I'm supposed to believe that after he just comes up here and has no idea what the fuck's going on. But honestly, that's the Jake I need to see. As disrespectful as it is, talking about he can't read, fuck it. It's the fight game. Say some things that are going to rile Tank up a little bit.
Jake, how you win this fight?
Just showing up. Honestly, yeah, I'm gonna knock him out. You know, he has a lot of flaws in his defense, and I'm gonna expose him. You know, look what a 135 Lamont Roach did to him, and it's just gonna be so much fun for me. I'm so glad that God gave me this moment. I'm Gervonta
What did he do?
Davis's karmic retribution.
Karmic retribution. All right, bro. Number one, we know Jake is not a Rhodes Scholar, so he had that one in the back pocket ready. That was a one-liner he had ready. Either that or my man has been doing Hooked on Phonics, and that was word of the day or phrase of the day. Because where the hell does karmic retribution come from? Number two, this is an interesting thing that'll happen in this fight. Jake has always said, when speaking about fights with Tank, Canelo, these smaller guys, that look what so-and-so who was your size did to you. This is what I'm going to do to you. But in that same respect, Jake hasn't knocked anybody out in a while now. The last guy he knocked out was Mike Perry. Obviously, Mike Perry, not the greatest boxer in the world. But if Jake can hit Tank cleanly, yes, I agree that he can do some real damage. But I'm just saying, it takes a lot of practice to punch down on someone, especially when you're not used to being the super tall guy. And Jake's only 6'1".
I'm curious, Tank, when you walk into the ring, how much you think you'll weigh?
When I walk in the ring?
Like 150.
With or without the ankle monitor on.
Ooh.
That's corny. That's super corny.
Tank is so sassy. Super corny.
I don't know how much I'll weigh.
And the handcuffs, too.
Huh? What are you talking about, fam?
How do you win this fight?
That outfit is trash. For real. That outfit is garbage.
See, like how easy it was for Jake to get under his skin, just rattle him a little bit? That's all he needs to do. Just little stuff. Now, again, he's going after the obvious elephant in the room, and I'm not talking about the great elephant Jake Paul who struggles to be knocked down or whatever. I mean the fact that Gervonta Davis was just recently arrested on a domestic violence charge. I actually don't know if the charges were dropped or what happened there, but, you know, Tank has had some trouble with the law, especially, you know, throughout his career, but especially recently. And all it took was Jake to bring it up. Whether you think that's over the line or not, it's what Jake needs. Maybe not that far, but he needs to be a villain. He needs to do things that are going to make Tank uncomfortable and get him out of his skin.
Anybody that ever rocked a mohawk is a fucking clown. We all know this. Anybody rocked a mohawk. Name
You
it.
want to see clowns?
Oh, no, dude.
You want to see clowns?
Oh, no. I mean, I asked for entertainment, but, I mean, we said it was the circus. We did say it was a circus fight. And Jake Paul, I guess they were these two guys that are dressed up like clowns. I guess they were cued to come on stage if Gervonta ever said the word clown. So here they come.
Gervonta, you're the fucking clown, buddy. You're the fucking clown, Gervonta. Any man who puts his hands on a woman is the clown. I got you a poodle.
Now, okay. Now, since we on this, if I
just
put my
dropped a fucking balloon and they're out. I'm surprised that guy got that close to Gervonta, but yeah.
if I put my hands on females or anything like that, right? If I put my hands on
talk about
females or
fucking
anything
clown.
like that, you know how many female? Like, come on, it will be mad. You see how when I don't even want to bring up nobody thing.
No.
What's the name about that? But
No,
P. Diddy.
no,
When things got like,
no. Nah, Gervonta, you know what? You know what I'm saying? We get it. Right now is not the time to proclaim innocence, especially when, you know, public speaking, maybe not your strong suit, and especially not when you lead off with P. Diddy. Maybe we just let this one go, you know? Maybe we just kind of, I didn't do it, and we move on type of thing. If that's true, I don't know, allegedly. But whatever you got to say, let's wrap it up, because the longer this goes, the worse it's going to get.
like that. No, listen. When one female did a charge, it was mad females coming out, right? So if I hit a female, right, Wanting to be mad other females, like I ain't been just with one female. Like I'm 30 years old. Like let's be real. I've been with more than one female. Wanting mad females come out and say something about me hitting them? No. No?
Okay.
Right. Talk about making a bad situation worse. First off, I guess like what he's trying to say is if I hit one girl, why wouldn't all the girls I dated say I hit them? Not a great response. Not really a great response to be like, yeah, one girl said I committed domestic abuse. Well, I fuck bitches. Like, so now what? Not everyone said that, so clearly I'm innocent in all cases. I don't know if that's the response. I'm not laughing at domestic abuse. It's very unfortunate and a horrible, horrible thing for any, anyone to do. Just reprehensible. And as far as Gervonta's situation goes, I genuinely don't know if the charges were dropped, if it's still under investigation. I have no idea, but he should probably stop talking about it because that's awful.
Oliver Salt for Daily Mail. Gervonta, a lot of boxing fans aren't happy with the fact you've taken this fight rather than the Roach rematch, fights with the likes of Shakur, Devin Haney, Teofimo, etc. What do you make of that reaction? And can we still expect to see those fights?
Why should I care what they think? When y'all switch somebody can have a bad day and y'all switching on who y'all favorite fighter is or who this person is supposed to fight. Like y'all need to sit back and be fans and just enjoy the sport. Like y'all even talk about people's personal lives. Like why when it come to that?
I'm not sure what that response meant from Tank there. The guy asked, I mean, listen, valid question. Like, what do you say to people that would rather see, and he's talking about Gervonta's own fans, to be fair. What would you say to those people that want to see you fight legitimate world championship fights? And Gervonta's like, shut up and be a fan. No, but he's like, you guys shit on fighters. And he's saying you guys, I don't think he means this guy. I think he means the fans. You guys shit on fighters after bad performances, so why would I care what you think? Well, I mean, there's something to be said for like fans being very fickle in sports. That's true. That's a real thing. But that's just the nature of sport. Every Sunday, a quarterback goes out. They could have 10 straight great games, but if they throw 4 picks, all of a sudden they are trash.
Can we still expect to see any of those fights in the future, though?
And y'all keep talking about fighting somebody. Didn't he just have a fight? And what happened? What happened? He won, right? But how he look in it? Exactly. But y'all say some different shit when it's me, right? Cause y'all want me to lose. When y'all see people in that limelight too long, they want to take that they want somebody else to come take that spot. That's why it's always like, come on, bro. That's what happened with Floyd. Y'all seen him too much, and once y'all seen him so much, y'all start hating on it. Like it turned from love to hate.
Next
I
question.
don't even, again, for a guy in Tank Davis who says he doesn't care what fans think, he sure does care a lot about what fans think, which is obviously, that's most fighters, that's most athletes. They'll say, it don't matter to me. Who cares what they think? And deep down inside, yeah, Tank clearly cares, which is, again, why I don't understand why he won't just say what it is. If he didn't care, he would just say, I'm taking this fight for money. If he cares, then go fight the guy. And prove it.
Tank, so obviously, you're fighting Jake, and this is the fight that's in front of you. That's what you focused on now. But I got to ask you, he's a bigger dude. You acknowledge that. He's stronger. He's got the size advantage. Let's say he were to knock you out. Do you think that impacts your legacy? Or even lose? Just a loss to Jake Paul. What kind of impact do you think that has on your legacy?
I'm not really... I'm not sure. I'm not really big on it. I don't really care at this moment.
Bro, this is what I'm talking about when I said this press conference got weird. KG asks a great question. How would this affect your legacy? Tank doesn't want to say he doesn't even care, but he kind of says it. He's like, I don't know. I don't care at this moment. While he's playing with the fucking balloon animal. It shows you why he's doing this fight, but it also doesn't give you confidence that he even cares about doing this fight.
So you're not concerned that a loss to Jake Paul would mean anything to you at all? It doesn't stop anything?
Why should I?
Got you.
He gonna still have his poodle after the loss.
Why should I? He says. Why should I care? That's not for us to tell Tank. You know, this is like, I mean, I kind of thought this is how this is going to go, that Tank would just show up super nonchalant, but like, this is even worse to me than I thought. When Tank is up there going, why should I care if I get beat? I don't know, because you're supposed to convince us this is competition, and in competition, you want to win, therefore care if you win or lose. Even if it's an exhibition, what are you supposed to be selling us on if you don't even care if you win or lose the thing? So we're all just supposed to go, hell yeah, I'm watching that so Tank can get paid and maybe try. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen on Fight Night. I'm just saying, what kind of response is that?
Dr. Abi with World Liberty TV Boxing Channel. Jake, big fan of yours. I just want to say what you're doing for boxing is phenomenal. You're putting it on the map. What you're doing with the ladies, with the Mike Tyson and UFC fighters.
Right now.
Nobody. And I love you too.
Yo, my man came up to the mic to just glaze, buddy. Hey, yo. Now, again, I'm used to this. This happens a lot in like UFC press conferences. But this man, okay, you're a fan of Jake's. That's fine. But you got to get to the question at some point. Tank said, I'll swing on you.
Gervonta, I'm a big fan of yours. But I just wanted to tell this man what he's doing for boxing and putting it on the map. And I just want to take my hat off to you.
Get the mic from me. Get the mic from me, for real.
What I want to say is, if you beat Tank, you know, people are going to say you beat a smaller man. So what's the victory here?
Man, honestly, people always have something to say. It's old news. Keep talking. At the end of the day, you're here. So whatever anyone has to say, just keep on saying it, please. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
Here's the thing. It's kind of genius what Jake does in a very, like, under-the-radar way. No one asked Jake to fight Gervonta Davis. He, of his own free will, and Tank's, went out and made this fight on Netflix. Massive fight, ton of numbers, but by doing so, and with the Mike Tyson fight, you give people an avenue to criticize for doing these fights for the various different reasons. Mike with his age and activity, you know, all of that. Tank with his size, with your size. These are things that Jake is offering to the public as to go, here is why you can criticize me. And I think he does it on purpose, right? I don't even think. I know, because it gets people talking. And the more they talk, whether it's positive or negative, the more they are likely to return. The more his name stays relevant. The more these type of events continue to get bigger. So while Jake can act like he's tired of it, he continues to do these events so that he will get these kind of questions and have to go and create or have a narrative to work and frame off of it. I think it's genius.
For each of y'all, state your case for being the face of boxing.
Nobody's answering this, dude. What a cherry on top of this press conference is the last question that's asked is, yo, for both of y'all, state your case as to why you're the face of boxing, which is essentially the whole calling card behind this fight, right? Two big faces of American boxing squaring off in an exhibition. Someone asked the question, tell us why you're the face, in silence for both guys. Wow.
What?
He wants you to state your case.
State your case for being the face of boxing.
I ain't the face of boxing, fam. I'm just somebody that box.
If that doesn't tell you in as little words as possible the entirety of the story of Tank Davis's career, I don't know what will. A guy that has all the talent, has all the skills, had every possible potential to become the face of boxing, to be a world-level talent. He already is a multiple division world champion, but to fight the best of the best and become the face of American boxing that just went, I don't want it. That's not who I am. That is Tank Davis.
Jake.
Numbers.
There you have it.
Dude, this is why I said this presser got a little awkward, is like it feels like they are being forced at gunpoint to be there. Like even Jake, the energy that Tank brought in has zapped the energy out of Jake. We better see Jake on a different level at this Miami presser. As you guys are seeing this video today, we better see him turn it up, because this is not good, man. This looks like they're both just like they're there just because they have to be. All right, let's get to this face-off. The first official face-off. Jake lost The sweater. What's the physique looking like for Jake? That's what I want to see. Okay, he gets down to, he gets down to Tank's level real quick. All right, we got a little swing into that lead arm. Jake trying to get down to his level. Oh, see Tank? See? Tank trying to get to him. Can't touch him. He's tapping him on the arm, say, where that fat? Got a little arm fat. Why does Tank look like a lost puppy almost? Just standing there like, okay. Jake's not the tallest guy in the world, but just the mass. The sheer difference in mass alone is insane. Why are Jake's pants so high? There it is, folks. Your first official face-off and press conference for Jake versus Tank on Netflix. I'm going to be honest, I need more. That just wasn't enough. That's not enough to sell the public on why this thing's supposed to matter. I don't think either guy brought their A game. I thought both of them were way too, I don't know if it was relaxed or nonchalant or just, it came off as not caring. And that's the last thing you want. You don't want to look uninterested in your own fight, regardless of the surrounding parameters of it. You want to have some fire. You want to have people see why we should care about this thing. And that press conference, to me, it didn't feel like either guy really cared too much. It didn't feel like either guy really was jazzed up and energized about this being, you know, once in a lifetime, whatever, right? When we had the Jake and Mike press conferences, those things felt like a massive deal. Even when Mike was grabbing on his crotch and fucking slapping Jake in the face, like that felt like something. There was some energy there, you know? So I need to see more from both guys. I mean, Tank clearly is there to get paid. Jake, it seems like, actually is going to take this seriously and try his best, but I need to see more. These are supposed to be the two faces of boxing. I don't care what Tank thinks about whether he is or not. Promote this thing. Give us something. This is the entertainment bout. This is supposed to be for our entertainment. It's not about competition. As much as they want to say it is, it really is about an entertainment exhibition. So entertain. That's what I think. You guys let me know in the comments below what happens in today's press conference, because we'll be back tomorrow with a breakdown of that one. I don't have those answers, but guess we'll find out.